Shalom, welcome.
Hi everyone. Can you hear me all right? Oh, this is painful. How can I put this? So I shared before that I've been struggling to understand the mind. I got the 7 steps to awakening. Again, I think whomever has my first copy, I hope they are blessed by it. Anyway, I read the introduction and something resonated really a lot with me, which is the ego being the imposter. And I started understanding that that's why I struggle so much to understand it, because even get starting any thought or any thought with the word I, it's already a delusion. It's deluded. It's not I. So the only thing that I seem to be able to do whenever this delusion comes about is to stay still and let it end. And it's pure delusional, right? It says I have to do this, and then the moment goes away, and there's no it's an impossibility of doing anything at all. It says I want this or that, or I don't want this or the other. The moment goes away, and it's impossible. It says that I have to do this because of that and the other. The moment goes away, and I'm beyond time, where there's no, it doesn't make any sense. So the only thing that I seem to be able to do, is to stay quiet in silence, and it's you know I seem to have been stopping myself from sharing this with you just because this is the most narcissistic that I ever felt, talking to myself about myself to myself. If that makes any sense. But I guess, yeah, I wanted to share this to get your insights, your guidance, really. Thank you, Tom sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Joel. Thank you. Very insightful, I thought you were. Thought you were very insightful. The mind pretends to be us. Thought pretends to be me, I, what I really am. As soon as you think the word I, the thought has already lied. It is the imposter. I thought that was very insightful. It's what Bhagavan calls the I thought. And he says the I thought is there in every single thought. The I thought is there. He says the I thought is the thought upon which all the other thoughts are strung, like beads on a string. The I thought is the string, and all the other thoughts are the beads that form the chain or the necklace or the bracelet. The I thought is running through all thoughts, and it's the central lie. As soon as you think the thought, I'm just going to the supermarket, just going to buy some bread, there's the lie. I, I. I wasn't sure what to do. See? I. What shall I wear today? I. This is narcissism. You are not being narcissistic, Shah. It's the nature of the ego. This is I think this is you being least narcissistic because what narcissists don't do is look at themselves, you know? Narcissists don't deeply explore themselves. They don't introspect. They cast judgment outside of themselves. They extrospect. They don't introspect. You're inquiring into, I, this isn't, it might seem narcissistic because you're focusing in yourself. And isn't that what a narcissist does? Well, yes, they are self-centered in one sense, but they don't deeply introspect into who they are. Not really. But this, all of thought is the false self. All of thought, all of thought, every single thought is strung upon the central thought, I. You cannot have a thought without the concept of I underpinning it somehow. I is the first thought upon which all other thoughts arise. You may say, well, Tom, there are lots of thoughts that don't involve the word I. For example, the thought might be you, something. You go over there. If I said you go over there, there's no I thought there, is there? Well, there is. Because the concept of you depends on the concept of I. Because you is defined in opposition to I or me. And if I say he, she, they, it, the third person, The third person is also defined in respect to the first and the second person. So the second and third person can only exist after the flagpole of the I, the first person, has been put firmly into the ground. And all thoughts involve either the first, the second, or the third persons. The second and third persons are dependent conceptually on the first. That's why they're called the second and third. They come after the first. All thoughts depend on I. Without I, there is no thought. Sometimes it is said that the ego is not all of thought. It is just a certain type of thought is ego. Certain type of, you've got two types of thought. You've got egoic thought and non-egoic thought. You know, this is what some people say. You got two types of thought. You've got egoic thought and non-egoic thought. Egoic thought is a certain type of thought, and non-egoic thought, well, that's a different type of thought. Whereas Bhagavan teaches us all thought. I know it can sound ridiculous. All thought is ego. All thought depends on the I thought, which is the root which is ego or root ignorance. To know you, to know he, she, they, them, it, you need to know I first. Only once I has arisen do you, he, she, it, they, them arise. Only after the first person does the second and third person arise. When the truth of this is not known, then the spiritual teaching is distorted. Then you try and create, for example, I'll give you an example. When the true spiritual teaching, truly liberating teaching is not known, then you need to spread the word. You need to share the teaching with others. Now, there's nothing wrong with spreading the word or sharing the teaching with others if it comes naturally. But there's no compulsion to do it because there's no one else. Only when there's an I is there a you or a he or a she, etc. So only when there is there when there's an I is there a need to save another. And you get these silly teachings. Sorry for saying using the word silly. You get these juvenile teachings such as we need to save the world. We need to enlighten a, I don't know, critical mass of people in the world. And this betrays the belief in an I and a you and a he and a she. And it means the true teaching is not there. There's nothing wrong with these teachings. Every teaching has its place. There's nothing wrong with them in the sense that this is a part of the way Maya works, but they are not liberating. They're not ultimately true. They do not point the way home. They keep you trapped in the world subtly. And they also create the false illusion that you might be in some sort of superior enlightened group that can enlighten other people. So it's actually discriminatory because you consider yourself to be in some sort of elite group there to help those less fortunate than you. Self-realization is nothing like that is there. This is why you don't hear this kind of speak or talk in any of the genuine spiritual traditions. In the Diamond Sutra, Buddha explains that there is no one else to liberate. You just liberate yourself. There's no one else to liberate. Poetically, once you liberate yourself, everyone is liberated. So just know yourself. That is enough. Then you've reached a critical mass of the population. It's one. That's the critical mass. You'll only go out there trying to liberate everyone else, help everyone else when you haven't gone here inward first. It's through forgetfulness of what you are that you run outwards. There's a very famous spiritual teacher, and a devotee of Bhagawan was talking to Bhagawan about him. I won't mention his name. And this devotee asked Bhagawan if he was liberated. If not, if Bhagawan was liberated, but if this other spiritual teacher was liberated. A devotee of Bhagawan asked Bhagawan, is this other spiritual teacher liberated? And Bhagawan, as usual, didn't comment on the status of another teacher. But then he eventually said something. He said, this man, he runs around all over the world, going here and there all over the world. Why doesn't he stay within? I paraphrase. This teacher, he runs all over the world, hop, stepping, jumping all over the place. One day he's here, one day he's there, you know? So we can maybe infer what Bhagavan thought of that. Why do you need to run all over the world? Why do you need to save others? Nothing wrong with it. Maybe it spontaneously happens. But see the wisdom being shared here, the wisdom being dispensed. Soon as there's the I thought, then there's the you, the he, the she, the this, the that, the they. And then all the problems. Then you need to save someone else. And maybe you're the savior who can save others, right? This is illusion. This is ignorance. Nothing wrong with it. If that's what you want to do, you do it. I'm not saying don't do these things or do these things. Just see the wisdom. Bhagwan's teachings are simple, subtle, transformational, and radical. And they are gentle, they're loving, they're silent, they are gentle, they're loving, they're silent, non-imposing. Not forcing people to do this or that, but guiding people to their own inner light, where all is seen to be one. As soon as you think the thought I, and then that is the trouble, which is thought. So when the I thought rises up, Bhagavan recommends, to whom does this appear? To whom does this arise? To me, who am I? And you immediately, as soon as a thought rises up, which is the I thought, plus any second and third persons and other things in there, they're only first, second, and third persons. First person is the I thought, second and third person objects. As soon as thought rises up, turn within. Don't be like the false teacher who says, who thinks they have liberated themselves as a person and now has to liberate others. This is the thief pretending to be somebody who catches the thief. A man walks into the town hall. A man bursts into the town hall. Everyone's there. A thief has been on the prowl. A man walks in. He's the thief. But he walks in and says, I've caught the thief. He is the thief, but that's people in the town hall don't realize. He walks in, he slams open the door. Everyone looks at him in shock. Gasp. Silence. He says, I have caught the thief. The people in the town hall say, where have you put him? And the man who's burst in through the door says, I locked him up, I threw him in the woods. He won't bother you again. Everyone thanks the man. Come in, come in. Rejoice with us. Celebrate with us. He's the thief. They welcome him in to their home. Thank you, sir. You have killed the thief. Or you have vanquished the thief, sorry. And they welcome the thief in. Bhagavan says this is the ego. The ego is the thief who pretends to be the policeman to catch the thief. This is the I thought. This is thought. Why go running around? Bhagavan will do everything for us. He'll give us everything we need. Just trust him a little, and you'll see. And as you see, your trust will grow. And as your trust will grow, you'll trust him more, you'll let go more, you give more to him. And as you give more to him, your trust will grow as he doesn't let you down, and so on and so forth. And before you know it, this leads to bhakti, devotion, surrender, self-knowledge, realization, bliss. This is my experience, at least. Joao, thank you very much. Narcissistic? No. This is exactly what a narcissist doesn't do. They don't look at themselves. They are self-centered. They're trying to protect themselves. A narcissist is trying to protect their sense of self.